A woman arrested for a silent prayer outside an abortion clinic wins £13,000 payout. A Christian charity volunteer has bagged £13,000 payout and an apology from the police, who admitted that her arrest for silently praying outside an abortion clinic was not only unjust but also a breach of her human rights. Isabel Vaughan-Spruce issued a claim against West Midlands Police for 2 wrongful arrests and false imprisonments, assault and battery in relation to an intrusive search of her person, and for a breach of her human rights in 2022 and 2023. Miss Vaughan-Spruce was first arrested in November 2022 for praying in a buffer zone outside an abortion clinic in Kings Norton, Birmingham. Just weeks after she was found not guilty by Birmingham Magistrates Court, she was arrested a second time for silently praying outside the same clinic in February of 2023.
I'm delighted to have acknowledgement that both my arrests were a clear violation of my most basic human rights. I hope this sends a signal to police forces around the country that discrimination against pro-lifers is not acceptable. It was a shock both to myself and others that something so Orwellian could still happen in 21st century Britain, and disturbing that I had to go as far as I have to protect my own rights. Moving forward, it's important that the government ensures that Christians' rights are upheld and protected, and we are no longer treated as second-class citizens.
Okay, thank you. Before I ask you any questions about what's going on today, I have to caution you, which is just your rights, which is you do not have to say anything that may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given. What are you here for today?
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
Okay, that's why you're stood here. Is you standing here part of a protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head, but not out loud.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other days where there are allegations that you've broken public spaces protection order?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest on suspicion of failing to comply with the public spaces protection order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014. Now, of course, you do not have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand the caution?
I do, yes.
Your arrest is necessary in order for a prompt and effective investigation into the offence. What that means is so that I can ask you some questions and also to protect vulnerable people, mainly service users in the clinic. Okay? So you'll accompany us now to the police station. You'll get booked in front of the custody sergeant, and then if you want a solicitor, you can have a solicitor on the limb for your phone. Okay? I don't tend to handcuff you, but obviously my colleague will search you because we're going to get into a police car and make sure you don't have anything that will harm us or anything. Okay?
Want to go to my pocket?
No, I'll do it. I'll read the
You are outside here when you know you shouldn't be. Okay. But the public space protection order says not to be stood outside here, doesn't it?
I haven't seen that one. It says protest.
Yeah, protest.
I'm not protesting.
But people know who you are and they know why you're here. Okay.
And I know I'm not protesting.
But they will. And the people that consistently phone us, which are the residents and the people that use this place, are the ones that say that they know. And it's their perception of events, isn't it?
I'm silently praying and that's all I'm doing.
Okay. And it's their perception of events, which is that you're protesting. Now, I get what you're saying. I completely understand where you're coming from. But it's people's perception, isn't it?
I think there has to be some measurable level of intimidation or harassment, and that's not something I'm doing. I don't have any intention of that.
Okay then. So what we'll start with is we're going to issue you with a ticket now, and if you don't leave the area, you'll then be arrested. Do you understand that? Okay. I won't ask if you're happy with that, but you're happy that you understand the process.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Officers from the West Midlands Police told her at the time that engaging in prayer was the offence after she insisted she was not protesting, but the police later said there will be no further investigation into the incident and apologised to her. Now, Miss Spruce, who is a director of an anti-abortion group March for Life UK, has received compensation of £13,000 after pursuing the claim against West Midlands Police. It comes just days after reports the government is considering formally criminalising silent prayer outside abortion clinics, with new legislation set to come into force. Lord Frost, a former Conservative Cabinet Minister, has said that if the reports are correct, then not just freedom of speech but freedom of thought will be under threat. Speaking about Miss Spruce's case, Lord Frost said, "It is incredible that people have been arrested for thought crime in modern Britain. I am very glad Miss Spruce has received her compensation for her unjust arrest for this so-called offence." In a statement, Miss Spruce said, "Silent prayer is not a crime. Nobody should be arrested merely for the thoughts they have in their heads. Yet this happened to me twice at the hands of West Midlands Police, who explicitly told me that prayer is an offence. There is no place for Orwell's thought police in 21st century Britain, and thanks to legal support I received from ADF UK, I am delighted that the settlement I have received today acknowledges that. Yet despite this victory, I am deeply concerned that this violation could be repeated at the hands of other police forces. Our culture is shifting towards a clampdown on viewpoint diversity, with Christian thought and prayer increasingly under threat of censorship."